Hi friends, this is Hannah from Handmade by Design, and I'm so glad you're here. Today we're going to be making bunnies. DIY number 1 is a secondhand bunny that I picked up from Facebook Marketplace for a few dollars, and it came looking exactly like this with the burlap ribbon and the white pips around the bunny. I think it looks really cute this way. It's just an adorable for a rustic bunny, but I had something else in mind. The burlap ribbon has an awful lot of glue on it, so I had to use my heat gun to remove it from the wreath. You can also use a hairdryer at the highest setting. The bow is really cute, so once I remove it, I set it aside because I'm sure I'll be able to use it on another project. I had used all of the daisies and only had the greenery left from these Dollar Tree flowers, and I decided to use them as a base for the wreath. I used the greenery from all of the daisies, and I covered the entire base of the whole bunny with the greenery. I just hot glued it underneath the pips, and I went all the way around. I covered the body of the bunny, I covered the head of the bunny, and I also covered the ears of the bunny. The only place that I didn't cover was right in the neck area where I'm going to be adding another bow. Also, when I got to the ears, there was an awful lot of pips, so I cut some of the pip vines off and I incorporated them later into different parts of the wreath. As I was gluing the greenery onto the wreath, I straightened out or wrapped the pip vines closely along the greenery. So this gave, it took the messy look away and it gave it a more uniform look. When I'm crafting, I never throw anything away. I was so happy that I hung on to the greenery from the little daisies because I had more than enough to cover the entire bunny, and they were so lush and green looking. They were just the right size, and they made a perfect base for this wreath. I used tulips that I picked up from Michael's. They were on sale for $1.99 a bunch, so I bought a lot of tulips. I used pink tulips and I pulled them off of the stems, and the tulips come off of the stems in sets of 3. So each little bundle of tulips that I pulled off the stem came in bundles of 3. I adhered the little bundles of tulips using hot glue all the way around the wreath. I covered the body, the head, and I left the ears without tulips and the area in the neck where the bow was going to go without tulips. I was very generous in placing my tulips because I wanted this wreath to look very full and festive. Once I had finished placing the tulips on the wreath and arranged all the greenery, the tulips, and the pips to where I thought they looked beautiful, and I did put all the tulips going in the same direction. So now it's time to make the bow. I cut off a piece of wire. Actually, I cut off several pieces of floral wire. I used 3 different ribbons. I used black and white wired ribbon that I'm pretty sure I bought this ribbon on Amazon, but you can get it almost everywhere. This buffalo check black and white ribbon is readily available. And I didn't measure the ribbon. I just gauged it according to the opening where the bow was going to fit. and I made 6 loops going back and forth and just pinched them between my fingers. And once I finished making all of the loops, I held the bow together in the middle, and I just made certain that all of the loops were the same length on both sides of the bow. So I had to do a little bit of adjustment, but it was an easy fix, and the bow is even. So I pinched it together, and I tied it off with a floral wire, wrapping the floral wire tightly around the ribbon, and then fluffing out all of the layers of the bow. I set it aside and took pink ribbon that I purchased from the Dollar Tree, and I just made 2 or 3 loops on either side of the ribbon, also gauging it for the opening where the bow is going to be. And once I was happy with how the ribbon looked, I pinched it together, and I also tied that off in the center with another floral wire. And I set that bow aside. Using the green lacy ribbon from the Dollar Tree, I made 1 loop on either side, and using the floral wire on the pink bow, I attached the green bow to the top of the pink bow. Next, I wired the black ribbon underneath the green and pink ribbon and fluffed out the ribbon until I was completely happy with the way that it looked. Isn't this a beautiful ribbon? I attached the ribbon to the neck of the bunny, and I added some of the pips that I had cut off from the ears to the bow of the bunny. And this project is finished. I love this bunny. I think she came out so pretty. All I need to do is add a hanger to the back. And here is a close-up of the ribbon. DIY number 2 is a bunny in a tobacco basket. The basket is filled with tulips, greenery, and beautiful glittery things from the Dollar Tree. I made 2 shoestring ribbons using ribbon that I purchased from the thrift store and lacy ribbon from the Dollar Tree. The sateen ribbon, I just made a shoestring ribbon, and I did the same thing with the lacy ribbon. I glued the 2 ribbons together and then glued them onto the neck of the bunny. Next, just using a small pair of pliers, I disassembled a pair of one of the earrings from a pair that I bought from AliExpress. I think I paid $1 for the pair of the earrings. I buy a lot of earrings as embellishments from AliExpress, and I glued that to the front of the bow tie on the bunny's neck. I used Craftsman vanilla acrylic paint from Michaels, and I went around the entire perimeter of the bunny. I painted the whole top part of the bunny, and I painted just a little frame around the front of the bunny so that the white paint shows when you lay the bunny down flat. I found these beautiful pink, long, glittery sprigs at the Dollar Tree. And as beautiful as they are, they're troublesome because the glitter falls off. So I solved that by using Beacon brand spray adhesive, and I love this spray adhesive. Once you spray it over the glittery stems, the glitter stays on permanently, and you don't have to worry about glitter falling off of your project. I love this glue. I can't tell you enough about it. It's small, it is non-toxic, you can use it in small areas. I also got some little pink glittery berries from the Dollar Tree, and I'm using the same application. I am just spritzing them with the spray adhesive, and I'm not going to have a problem with the glitter falling off of my project. I love this spray adhesive so much, I ordered a whole case of it from the Dollar Tree. Once my glittery pieces are all dry, it's time to start assembling the basket. I used tulips that I purchased from Michael's for $1.99, fern and boxwood garland that I purchased from Walmart. I used the long sprigs of pink glitter twigs and the pink glitter berries from the Dollar Tree. I had my bunny all painted with the ribbon on it and ready to place onto the basket. And I purchased a really nice tobacco basket at Walmart for $8.50. I've been looking for a tobacco basket for quite a while, and they're pretty pricey. Some of them run $30 to $40, so I was really happy that I found this one. Next, I cut wire, and on the outside of the basket, I place the long pink glittery sprigs all along the basket on the left-hand side, all facing the same direction, and all coming out about the same distance from the basket. And on the inside of the pink glittery sprigs, I place the fern. On the inside of the fern, I add the garland, and I wire all of these pieces to the tobacco basket. I take my time and I make sure that I have plenty of the long pink stems and that the ferns are sitting up as high as I want them to, and the garland is nestled in close to everything, and then I wire all the pieces in firmly to the basket. I purchased the pink bunny from Big Lots for $3.99. I lost some of the footage, so right now we're going to pretend like this is the inside of the tobacco basket. So I disassemble a few bunches of the tulips, and they come apart in bundles of 3. And remember, I have the greenery inside of the tobacco basket on the left-hand side from the top to the bottom. So I hot glue bundles of 3 of the tulips inside of the greenery, and I also hot glue the pink berries. And I am very generous with this until the tobacco basket is laden with the berries and the tulips. And this is how it looks. Next, I adhere the bunny by tying it onto the back of the basket and also using hot glue. And this project is finished. I really love the way that this basket came out. It is so pretty and springtime and fresh looking and full. I just love the juxtaposition between the wood of the tobacco basket, the bunny, the flowers, and the berries. I love all the details on the bunny, and I really enjoyed making this project. I'd love to know what you think about this project, and would you hang this on your front door? I wish now that I had gotten more than one tobacco basket. I just think she's so pretty. DIY number 3 was a real find. On Oriental Trading Company, I found black and white bunnies that were called Less Than Perfect for $7.57. And if you've been looking at prices of bunnies this year, they're so expensive. And it looks very close to a beautiful Mackenzie Childs bunny. I really fell in love with these bunnies, and I bought some for this year and some for next year. And now it's time to get to work. Using a black paint marker, I very carefully filled in all of the black squares all along the bunny. I just took my time. There was a little indentation around each square, so it was really not hard to do. I just had to take my time, and in some places the squares were missing completely or way off center, so I had to just do the best that I could to make it all look cohesive and to make sure that all of the black squares were connecting. There were a few places on the bunnies that had large gaps, so I had to improvise and add a few squares to the bunnies. I just took my time and I used my black paint pen and filled in all the squares. I'm not going to tell you any stories. This takes quite a while, and it is definitely a labor of love. But if you love the black and white check whimsical look of the Mackenzie Childs bunnies as much as I do, then it will be so worth your time, because in the end, you have such a fabulous product for a fraction of the cost. So I finished filling all the black squares in with my marker pen. Check over your bunny and you'll notice that there are areas that the black marker pen did not fill in completely. There will be little white, you can see the little white stripes where the marker pen didn't fill in. So using black paint and a very thin paintbrush, I just went in and filled in all of the white areas around each square. I don't know how you feel about painting, but I absolutely love to paint. For me, painting is the most relaxing craft that there is. There's just something about taking a project and taking my time and painting in and filling in everything in with a paintbrush that is just very peaceful and zen-like, and I just love to paint. Once you're finished with the black paint, allow it to dry completely, and then I take out white paint and I just lightly go over all of the little squares and any of the places where I went outside of the lines with the black paint to do minor repairs and to make sure that my bunny is looking perfect. Once I'm done with the white, I take the color Pink Chiffon from Craft Smart from Michaels, and I paint the inside of the bunny's ears with this very beautiful light pink chiffon color. Next, I used gold metallic paint by Folk Art, and I painted the rim around each bunny's ear. I painted the ribbon around the neck, the bow, the front paws, and the back paws, and I allowed it to dry completely. Next, I cover the entire bunny with Mod Podge. And this project is complete. Now, the only thing we have to do is wait for the Mod Podge to dry. And this is how our bunny turns out. Isn't she beautiful? The Mackenzie Childs bunny is on the left and ours is on the right. Next, just to give you a styling tip, I found this wonderful vase at the thrift store for $3.49, and it had moss all along the edge. I don't think it had ever been used. It still had the label on it. So I removed the label, and inside I just added an empty spool of thread, and I hung a beautiful bow to the front of the vase, and I added about 5 bunches of tulips and placed 2 of my Mackenzie Childs dupe bunnies in front of the vase. And even though it's in my craft room, this is so easy to recreate on your kitchen table, your dining room table, your entryway, or on your patio. It's just so wonderful to decorate for Easter and springtime. Springtime is my favorite time of year, and I love all the bright, vibrant, happy colors. Thank you so much for watching. And if you enjoyed what you saw, please like and subscribe and hit the notification button so you'll be notified the next time that I post a video. I hope this inspires you to make something beautiful, and I'll see you soon.